The February 28 economic warfare, the great financial blackout, begins. What is the agenda behind the no buying and no selling economic warfare? Welcome, dear friends, to TIBB Live. Here is the prophecy update that you should know. Revelation 13 verse 17. No one should be able to buy or sell unless he bears the mark of the name of the beast. Economic warfare that is taking place, a financial blackout that's planned for February 28. It begins in this day. No buy, no sell, no transaction. And this is in response to what they call elite tyranny merchant. Forbes.com says, consumers are boycotting major retailers. Here's what they plan for Blackout February 28. It's People's Union USA, and they're calling for a national blackout 28th of February. Economic Blackout, a consumer activist group founded by John Shorts, has launched a grassroots campaign to halt spending online or in-store and not use credit or debit cards starting February 28 for 24 hours in an attempt to disrupt the economic order and, quote, take back control of our economy, government, and future of our country. The People's Union this boycott, they call for no spending beginning February 27th onwards. The People's Union claims not to be a protest or political party, but a movement of people unionizing. Underline that word, unionizing.
National economic blackout are surfacing on social media and are expected to take effect on Friday. Sources say people who participate in the February 28th blackout will not shop, eat at chain restaurants, buy gas, or spend money at major companies for a 24-hour consumer boycott.
This is interesting, and it raises some questions about how effective grassroots protests can be. What we're talking about is a grassroots protest that is scheduled for this Friday that's pitching itself as an economic blackout. What does that mean? Well, it's basically a boycott. It means this is calling on consumers to not spend anything on that day. Not in stores, not online, not in supermarkets.
And of course, they're telling us this is not just another protest. This is not just another moment that fades into the background. This is the beginning of something unstoppable, they say. For too long, they have the rules. They have rigged the system, they say. They have lined their pockets. While we work harder, we struggle more, and we fight. Furthermore, they say, we fight for the bare minimum. They keep us divided. They have kept us distracted, and they kept us desperate because that's how they have stayed in. And this February 28th, we make it clear, I quote, we do not have to play by the rules anymore. For one day we stop everywhere. No Amazon, no gas, no Walmart, no shopping at Best Buy, no shopping at fast foods, no gas stations purchases, no major corporation, just nothing for one day to start off.
My fellow Americans, the 24-hour economic blackout is coming. On Friday, February 28th, the People's Union will make its first move. Now, some of you might be wondering, why does this matter? What impact will one day of economic resistance really have? Let me explain it to you. For decades, they have told us that we are powerless, that we have no control, and that this system is too big, too strong, too unshakable. But here's what they don't want you to realize. We, the people, are the system. We are the ones who build. We are the ones who buy. And we are the ones who make this country run. Without us, they have nothing. So what happens when we stop playing their game? You see, the economy does not belong to the rich. It belongs to us, the people who wake up every day and keep this country moving. But instead of serving us, the system has been designed to exploit us. Corporations profit off of our labor while keeping wages low. Banks steal billions through inflation and predatory policies. Politicians accept bribes disguised as donations while ignoring the people. They have taken
When they don't listen, because they're going to pretend that they don't hear us, we will go harder, they say, because this is just our warning shot. So this day, February 28, is just a warning shot. If we disrupt the economy for just one day, it sends a powerful message.
and that is exactly what they want you to believe. But trust me, a 24-hour blackout is just the first step. It's a test. If enough of us participate, they will feel it. If they don't listen, we escalate. The next one will last for 3 days. The next one will target specific industries. The next one forces them to respond. And this is not just a boycott. This is economic warfare. They have controlled us through our labor and spending. Now we control them. And this is how you can help this be a success. Commit to participating. On February 28th, do not spend money on anything. Not at any major corporation. No Amazon, no Walmart, no banks, no fast food chains. Only support small local businesses and essential needs. Spread the message. Tell your friends, tell your family, share this video, post about it, talk about it, get people involved. Because the more people who join, the bigger the impact. We will document the blackout. On February 28th, post your participation.
People's Union plans week-long protests against specific retailers includes Amazon, March 7 through 14, Nestle between March 21 to 28, Walmart, April 7 through 13. Why it matters? President Donald Trump has issued an executive order ending an array of diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI, initiatives at the federal level and beyond. This means funds could be frozen for companies that do not comply with the order, and any messaging that promotes inclusion-based language is also forbidden. So far, Trump's order has caused PBS to close its DEI office. Major companies like Amazon, Target, and Google are also taking steps to dissolve DEI initiatives. What to know? The People's Union was formed as a way for Americans to take power back from politicians and corporations, according to the group's website. I quote again, the People's Union is not just about resisting corruption. It is about exposing it. For decades, corporations, politicians, and industries have worked together to rig the systems against the American people, the group's website says.
Stores after a Saturday-only boycott. Pro-Ukraine activists have persuaded over 1,000 corporations to stop doing business in Russia simply by putting the names of those that do online. And one woman's online campaign helped force the end of Ivanka Trump's clothing line back in 2018.
You can vote with your money. You can vote with your feet, and you can vote in elections. And I think kind of the other ways to vote have been underused.
Here are the several dates and events of the protests and more economic blackout starting from February and the coming months. Here are the complete lists. Dear friends, a sign of the last days, because inspiration actually told us that when we see these movements, the end is upon us, wherein it's a common people coming together, joining in these unions to combat the greed and the tyranny of the elites. The Book of Education tells us the incidents that transpired during the French Revolution will involve the whole world in the last days. At the same time, anarchy is seeking to sweep away all law not only divine, but human. The centralizing of wealth and power, the vast combination for the enriching of the few at the expense of many. Understand, dear friends, that's one side of the spectrum. The centralizing of wealth and power, the vast combinations for enriching of the few and at the expense of many. And what will be the result? The spirit of unrest. Do we now see it? The boycotts and the strikes. Yes. Come now, you rich, weep and howl for your miseries that are coming upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver are corroded, and their corrosion will be a witness against you, and will eat your flesh like fire. You have heaped up treasure in the last days. Verse 4, indeed the wages of the laborers who you mowed your fields, which you kept back by fraud, cry out, and the cries of the reapers have reached the ears of the Lord of the Sabbath. Verse 5, you have lived on the earth in pleasure luxury. You have fattened your hearts as in a day of slaughter. Last verse, verse 6, you have condemned, you have murdered the just, he does not resist you. The common people protesting, launching a solemn remonstration against Amazon, Walmart, and others, major companies in the fast food business, online stores, the brick and mortar stores, Best Buy, Target, and many more. All are signs of the last days. This protest's real power lies in its potential for escalation. If the People's Union follows through with planned long-term boycotts, we could see significant shifts in how corporations are led. There would be an economic boycott against those who will receive the seal of God. But we should not fear the future, but rather make heart preparations. Let us settle in the truth of God's word and not to be swayed by the majority. There would be pressure on both sides, but God will take care of the ones that will choose to obey the Ten Commandments of God and have the character of Jesus.